Alright, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the Throwback quest. So when we last left off, we escaped from the mortuary, and we have learned that there's a dust man named Emmerich who has been tasked with finding out where some of the bodies that have been coming to the mortuary are originating from. A character named Farad seems to be one of the prime suspects. He's been turning in a lot of bodies that don't seem to have died of natural causes, and he is a notorious collector of bodies around Sigil, which is the city that we find ourselves in. And we have also come into contact with this little lady here, Anna. And as I alluded in the last video, she is going to be a party member that will join us. Let's talk to her.
Hi, Golf.
You see a striking red-haired girl dressed in leather armor. Her right arm is covered with a series of interlocking plates that look as if they were taken from the skin of some creature, and a horned shoulder piece protects her left arm. Oddly enough, she has a tail that is flicking back and forth as you watch. Pike off! Greetings. The girl ignores you. Who are you? The girl sneers, then makes an obscene gesture with her tail. Pike off, you clueless sod! Hey, easy. I just had some questions. Aye, and what is it you want? I can't help but notice that you have a tail. Do I know? The girl looks at her tail. So I do. And here I was thinking that it was a trick of me eye. My, aren't you a sharp cutter? She bares her teeth. Why don't you piss off to whatever hole you crawled out of and leave me be? Me nor me tail is for trade, Jig. All right, I was just It's just as well. Neither you nor your tail are for sale. You couldn't squeak out a living with them anyway. What are you about, you blighter? Say it again! Alright. Thanks, Mort. Okay. Alright. He didn't say anything, but I'm still curious. Why do you have a tail? The girl's eyes narrow to slits. Are ya daft? Can it be that you're dumber than stone? Or mayhap you're the power of ignorance? May the dobbus brick you over and make you a street. Look. She's a tiefling, chief. They got some demon's blood in them, and that makes them paranoid and defensive. Nice tail, though. Shame it's plastered on such an ugly body. Whoa now. You better latch your bone box, you foul-mouthed mimmer, for I split you from your jaw, Jig. Why don't you try and split my jaw, chit? All I'm hearing is a lot of chatter from some hive trash. Throw a punch, I dare you. I'll bite your legs off. Enough! Aye, that's alright. Leash your mimmered turd, or I'll bury him with his body, Jig. Fine, look, I had some other questions. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna have some good conversations with Anna, especially between her and Mort in the future. But, you know, let's cut straight to the chase. Yeah. I'm looking for someone named Farad. Do you know where I can find him? Aye, I might. I might say more if you're sweeting the question, aye. She clicks her tongue and rubs two fingers together. Chink, chink, aye. Chink, chink? She means money. Oh. Aye. She glances at Mort and shrugs. What the skull said. Hard coin. Alright, how much? How much is it to you? How much is it to you to know, aye? She studies you, then folds her arms. Come on, I haven't got all day, I haven't. Let's turn on the charm. Use that amazing 14 charisma. How about 10? If your information's good enough, it could be more. Aye, all right then. She pockets the money. It's gone so quickly you have no idea where it vanished to. Look for him in the alley spire word from the mortuary. That's to the south and west to the mortuary. Aye. South and west to the mortuary. Thanks. Farewell.
Looks like the Dusty's lost one of the debtors.
Okay. Get my little journal here. South and west. And as we heard briefly, Anna is voiced. And in one of the previous videos, I was talking about Jennifer Hale. And I could only remember that she played Lady Shepard in Mass Effect, but I did a little research. I did find out that she also has quite a lengthy resume. She played the voice of Samus Aran in the Metroid Prime series. Going way back, she does the voice of Naomi Hunter in the Metal Gear series, going all the way back to Metal Gear Solid on the original PlayStation. She also did the voice of Bastila Shan in Knights of the Old Republic. And then in another Infinity Engine game, she does the voice of Dina Hare and Mazzy Fenton, I believe, from the Baldur's Gate series. And most recently, she did the voice of Rosalind Lutece in Bioshock Infinite. So, she gets around. Alright. Let's
I'm gone.
Head to the Gathering Dust bar here, where I've heard that Emmerich is. But first, let's examine the post. This filthy-looking corpse is in sad shape. Its shoulders are slumped and one of its legs is broken, causing it to lean to one side. Stains cover it from head to toe. Judging from the smell and the texture, the stains run from rotten fruit to mud and bird droppings. To add to the indignity, graffiti has been carved into its body, and several notices have been nailed into its chest, back, and head. I thought I was in bad shape. Don't all those nails hurt? The corpse makes no response. Let's examine the corpse. Despite the many stitches, the corpse's rotting skin is peeling in several places, revealing long stretches of muscle and bone. You'd guess that this zombie is frequently used as target practice. The fruit and mud stains aside, some of the tears in the skin still have rocks and bits of glass lodged in them. One wicked-looking cobblestone is still embedded in the side of its head. Let's get that cobblestone. Sounds like a useful item to have in my inventory. You grab a hold of the cobblestone and pull it out of the corpse's head. Traces of brain matter and rotting flesh slowly drip from it. It looks like whatever was in its head turned to ooze long ago. Okay, let's take a look at the notices. A number of the leaflets have been ruined by rain, but some of them are still legible. One tacked to his back is from something called the Office of Vermin and Disease Control. The one on his forehead looks like a bill, a fare for a restaurant. One on his chest looks like an official notice, and another appears to be some sort of want ad. Let's see. Office of Vermin and Disease Control. To those Hive citizens wishing a gainful employ with a most honorable and generous sigil government, inquire forthwith at the Office of Vermin and Disease Control to help stem plague of brain rats. Bounties paid. Copper given for each rat tail brought. Tails must be genuine and from rat only. No cat, dog, or fiend tail accepted. Office several streets south and west of Mortuary Gate in Lower Hive. Ask for official inspector in charge and respect Phineas, the respected Phineas T. Lort, the 39th. Let's look at some of the other notices here. Let's see, wanted. Wanted. Able-bodied person willing to investigate a matter of the utmost importance to the Dustman cause. Will offer suitable compensation upon successful completion of said task. Interested parties inquire with Initiate Noroksh. Gathering Dust Bar. A bill of fare. Someone has posted a bill of fare for the Gathering Dust Bar, but the bill of fare cannot be read, as the words Smoldering Corpse Bar have been scrawled in charcoal over the bill. Let's check that again. Smoldering Corpse Bar. The zombie immediately jerks its left arm upwards and points far to the southeast. A moment later, the arm falls back to its side with a thump. Right, southeast. East, Smoldering Corpse Bar. Okay. Reminds me of a job I once had. He seems embarrassed. Well, I mean, without the arms. Official notice. Public notice. By the order of the Judiciary Council and in accordance with the citizenry of Sigil, let it be known those defacing a registered servant of the Dustmen, either by graffiti, malicious attack, or by posting notices, will constitute felonious assault, and the perpetrator will be answerable for the vandalism of said servant, by order of the Hall of Speakers. Alright, let's look at the graffiti. The graffiti runs from obscenities about the Dustmen to slogans glorifying what appear to be local gangs. One piece of graffiti catches your eye. Someone has carved the name Farad on the corpse's left arm, and slashed an X across it. Farad.
Updated my journal.
Ooh. The zombie immediately jerks its left arm upwards and points far to the west and downwards. A moment later, the arm falls back to its side with a thump. Okay, so I guess that confirms the southwest that Anna told us about. Alright, I think we're done there.
I'm gone.
Let's head into the bar.
Chief, what are we doing in here? Let's say we just give this place the laugh, alright?
I'm gone.
Let's explore this place. Ooh.
All right.
Nothing.
Done.
Still can't rest in here.
All right.
Okay, so let's see who these people are. We got zombie worker, bodyguards. Oh, there's our pal Emmerich. Dustman, Mortai Gravesend, Dustman, Old Copper Eyes, Dustman, Worker, oh, Noroksh, Dustman, Seer the Skeptic. Alright, let's see here. Let's talk to Seer the Skeptic. As you approach, the elderly woman turns and stares at you. "Ah, look who's come a-callin' on Seer today. Death's dearest son." She looks you up and down, then shakes her head in disbelief. "By every power in its mother, boy, what crypt did you crawl out of?" "I'm fresh from the mortuary, actually." "Oh, that's so." Seer raises an eyebrow. "Warms my ears to hear you gave that place the laugh, boy. Not much of a watering hole for one who wasn't relieving themselves." She sniffs. "Shh, too many cobwebs and dusty mines. You don't like the mortuary. Aren't you a dustman? A dustman, I suppose. I've seen enough sand pass through the hourglass while wearing these robes. This body is almost ready to pay the ferryman. She chuckles, but there's not much mirth in it. Are you afraid of dying? Course I am, boy. Who isn't? She frowns and glances around. Well, except dustmen. They're not afraid because they've been swallowing so much of their own bat droppings over the decades they blind themselves into thinking that death is some kind of release. Psh. You don't sound much like a dustman. She shrugs. I guess the dustman robes don't fit me as well as they used to. So what sparked this crisis of faith? She shrugs. Life, I suppose. She frowns. Ha, never you mind. I won't bore you with the niggling details. I'd like to know, actually. Oh, would you? She looks at you skeptically. How old do you take me for, boy? Old. She snorts. Well, you're wrong. I'm really old. Now, I've spent most of my long years teaching dustmen. I've seen many dustmen whelps growing within our order, taught them the ways of the faction, kept the faith, preached the tenets of the faction. She frowns. And so on and so on. No questions, no doubt. This life was merely an antechamber that led to the true death. What happened? Well, a half-month back I went sick with a fever. She sighs. I thought it was the end. It rattled my cage. How? Her face becomes a stone. There's something about having your faction members circle around your deathbed like a pack of pale-faced ghouls, nodding and agreeing that your suffering and dying is all for the best. Oh, Sarah is so fortunate. She shall soon be relieved of the burden of life. The burden of life. That's when it struck me. That there's something. A queer expression comes over her features. Addled about not appreciating your life. The dustmen keep saying that life is misery and suffering. Is it? That we should be happy to pass on into oblivion? Should we? She shakes her head. Questions, questions, and precious few answers. It sounds like you don't believe in the dustman philosophy anymore. I suppose I have got a swarm of doubts all buzzing in my skull. She rubs her temples. Hard to get them all to be quiet sometimes. They need to be fed some answers, and I haven't got them all worked out yet. What will you do? To be square, boy, I don't know. That's the problem with doubt. I can't even trust what I'm feeling is true, or if I'm scared of death only because of my brush with the fever, or even what I should do. Is this a passing thing? I don't know. Let's see. Well, given my own philosophy, I might have to go with number 1 here, I think. Sir, if you had truly believed in the dustman philosophy, then your brush with the fever would not have left you with such doubts. Sarah stares at you, then nods slowly. Maybe so. Maybe so. She frowns, her face wrinkling up in concentration. I'll have to chew it over some more. You should. It's no small matter. No. Enough of me rattling on about my woes. Sarah stares at your scars. You look like you shared a few handshakes with death yourself. Hasn't that changed your views somewhat? Doesn't it make you appreciate life a bit more? Yes. And well it should. Nothing comforting about death. Questions, eh? Well, you can ask. Sarah looks at you with a steely eye, then smiles. Crypt crawler. I wanted to ask you about some of the dustmen in particular. No harm in it. Who's on your mind? Actually, I met a scribe named Dahl at the mortuary. Do you know him? Dahl. He was my instructor in the philosophical arts during my early training at the mortuary, and a crusty fool to boot. He's ill, so my ears tell me. I bet he'll even bore death with his presence. Is he dying? Sicker than a spotted dog he is. Not much sand left in the hourglass for him. One of the embalmers in the mortuary. Iveen, do you know her? Who? A strange young woman. Poor eyesight, near deaf. Talons for hands. Sarah shakes her head. Maybe she's a new initiate. I've never heard of her. Alright, well, I guess that's it, then. I must take my leave. Farewell. And as for that, I must take my leave. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me. Bye.